Alright, so this is the establishment of NATO. Now it says on March 4th, 1947, the Treaty of Dunkirk was signed by France and the United Kingdom. So that was 1947. As a treaty of alliance and mutual assistance in the event of a possible attack by Germany or the Soviet Union in the aftermath of World War II. You see that? So they feared an attack by Germany, which is one of the leaders in World War I and World War II. And they feared an attack by the Soviet Union, because originally Germany was with the Soviet Union. Now Germany joined NATO against Russia. Alright, so Germany can't be trusted. But it says the original members of the Treaty of Dunkirk were the United Kingdom and France. Now let's see who the United Kingdom is.
It makes me want to watch that movie that just came out about a year or so ago about Dunkirk.
God. I didn't know about that though. Now the United Kingdom of Britain. There you go. The United Kingdom of Britain. That's what it was called. And Northern Ireland, commonly known as the United Kingdom or Britain. So, is a sovereign country lying off the northwestern coast of European mainland. You know, I ain't gonna get too much into that, man. I'm gonna get off of that. But let's go back. Now it says right here, on March 4th, 1947, the Treaty of Dunkirk was signed by France and Britain. Read that again out.
This is Revelation chapter 13.
So this was where Britain got its power by the EU, with the establishment of what you call the beginnings of NATO.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 2. It says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
Right, so that mouth it's talking about is Britain, the leader of what was called the pre-treaty of NATO. You know, it was called the Treaty of Dunkirk. It said the Treaty of Dunkirk was signed on March 4th, 1947, between France and the United Kingdom in Dunkirk, France. That's France, Dunkirk. As a treaty of alliance and mutual assistance against a possible German attack in the aftermath of World War II. The treaty entered into force on September 1947, and preceding the Treaty of Brussels in 1948. So it preceded what you call the Treaty of Brussels. Now let's see what the Treaty of Brussels is. All right, you got that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go back real quick, and it says, and preceded the Treaty of Brussels of 1948, which established the Western Union. Now let's see what that all right, Treaty of Brussels. Yep.
Okay. It said the Treaty of Brussels, also referred to as the Brussels Pact, was a founding treaty of the Western Union, between 1948 and 1954.
Right.
At which point it was amended as the Modified Brussels Treaty in
1954.
And served as a founding treaty of the Western European Union.
So, all right, the Modified Brussels Treaty is dealing with America. All right, and you had the Brussels Treaty on 1948. That's what created the Western Union.
The Western European Union.
But then, what does it say after the Modified Brussels Treaty?
It says, and served as a founding treaty of the Western European Union until its termination in 2010. The treaty provided for the organization of military, economic, social, and cultural cooperation among member states, as well as mutual defense clause. The treaty was signed on March 17th in 1948 by Belgium, France, Luxembourg, and Netherlands.
I heard these names before. 7 heads, 10 horns. But they all coming together right here with this right here. This is when they all coming together. All right, go ahead.
And the United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom is more than just one country. All right.
The members of the Western Union as an expansion of the Treaty of Dunkirk, signed between Britain and France the previous year to guard against possible German or Soviet aggression after the end of World War II.
Right, so you had 1947, right? And then you had 1948, and then 1949. So let's click on Western Union, right up here.
Okay.
Right there.
Alright.
And now, can you click on the Benelux? Oh, well, actually, no, read this, Babako Shah.
Okay, it says, the Western Union, also referred to as the Brussels Treaty Organization,
Right.
alright, was a European military alliance.
Boom. European military alliance. That's what it was. That's what this is. It's a military machine that's created by the Europeans. The dragon. Alright, go ahead.
It says, military alliance established between France, the United Kingdom, and the three Benelux countries,
right,
in September.
Can you click on the Benelux countries, see what those are?
Alright, it says the Benelux Union.
Yeah.
Alright.
We already know it, but we already read it, but still.
Luxembourgish is the political economic union of the three neighboring states in Western Europe.
So, yep, go ahead.
Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg.
So it was an economic union. You see that? It was a military and economic union. That's what they were building. All right, go back, brother. Now, all right, can you keep reading that? Where was that? Benelux countries.
Yeah, it says, alright, it says, and the three Benelux countries in September 1948, in order to implement the Treaty of Brussels, signed in March the same year.
See that? See, this was a lead-up to the Treaty of Brussels, signed in March the same year. Go ahead.
Under this, the treaty
the
signatories, referred to as the Five Powers, agreed to collaborate in the defense field as well as the political and economic and cultural fields.
They were building the defense up, man. Alright, so this was the establishment. Let's read the next part, and this is going to be the end of it. One more part.
Alright, it says, during the Korean War, 1950 to 1953, the headquarters personnel and plans of the WU's defense arm, the Western Union Defense Organization, was transferred to the newly established North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
There you go. So they gave what? So they gave what? They gave all their power and authority over to the beast. Alright, go ahead. So it was transferred over. Can you read that part one more time?
Alright, it says, during the Korean War, the headquarters personnel and plans of the of the Western Union's defense arm, the Western Union Defense Organization, was transferred to the newly established North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, providing the nucleus of NATO's command structure at the Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe.
Yep, so that's when you get what? European Union, NATO, and America all aligned in one. And what did they call it? Keep going, brother.
Alright.
And this goes hand in hand with Revelations.
As a consequence of the failure of the European defense community in 1954, the London and Paris Conference led to the modified Treaty of Brussels, through which the Western Union was transformed into the Western European Union.
Right, it went from a serpent into a dragon. See that? So it was transferred into a dragon, alright? So it turned into a dragon. The beast, NATO, European Union, EU, and America, all together. And what did they call it out?
The Western European Union.
Right?
And was joined by Italy and Western Germany.
Right, so now they all joining in. Keep going.
It says, as the WEU's function Western European Union's function was transferred to the European Union's European security and defense policy.
Right, so that's talking about Europe, the dragon, financing them. You see that? Go ahead. At
the turn of the 21st century, the Western Union is a Precursor.
Precursor.
Proslakin.
Come on with it, man. Read that part, man.
It says, the Western Union is the precursor of both NATO and the military arm of the EU.
Come on with it, man. Can you click on that? Can you click on Western European Union? Yep.
This is all in that lesson you did.
Right, and now if you look up the Western European Union, we're not going to get it, but if you go to their page, their website, that's when you'll find 7 heads, and it's going to literally have 10 other nations. Yep, you're going to have it to where they have them joined up with Europe, or you might have certain countries with Europe and NATO, but not with America. But that'd be like 5 listed. But where it says 7 and 10, they're all listed with America, NATO, and European Union. The 10, America, NATO, and European Union. And that's on the Western European Union's page. Alright? What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Read that, brother.
Alright, it says, all member countries of the Western European Union were also members of both NATO and the European Union.
Right, man.
These are the only nations that have full voting rights. Belgium.
Full voting rights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell no.
So they control everything.
Yep.
Belgium, France, Germany, Greece, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, United Kingdom.
I bet you heard those names before. Keep doing that shit, man. Go down again. That's 7.
Alright.
And these right here are bankers, man. These are banking countries.
Okay.
Alright, where them damn Edomites is hiding at. Go ahead. This is 7 crowns, meaning the rich ones. Go ahead.
Alright, it says associate partners countries.
Right.
What is it, Kirkberg?
You can skip that.
Alright.
No, read that line.
Alright, it says 1994 countries that at the time were not part of either NATO or the EU. All of the following nations joined both NATO and the EU by 2007.
Come on with it, man.
Bulgaria, Estonia, Latvia,
Latvia,
Lithuania, Romania, Slovakia,
Czechoslovakia,
Slovenia.
Yeah, man. So those 7, all right, and you go back up, you have 10. You see that? You see that, right? NATO, EU, and America. Right? So let's keep going. There's another part I wanted to read too, but I don't want to slow it up. Read that again one more time, brother.
This is Revelation chapter 13.
They said they added in the North America.
Verse 2. It says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
Right, because it did start off with 29 countries, but today what it ended up with, I'm talking about NATO and the EU, started off with 29 agreement countries, but it ended up with 7 and 10. But then also you have the 10 common markets. All right, go ahead, brother.
And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. Right,
let's look at that word dragon now. Oh, I found it too, by mistake. That's it right. Yep. So you got the word dragon?
Yeah. Alright, this is dragon G1404 Dracon. And it says a dragon, a great serpent.
Right, a great serpent, not just a regular serpent, meaning greater than the other serpents. So that's the EU, meaning greater in what? Wickedness, greater in riches and everything. The house of Amalek.
Name for Satan.
Right, that's the name for Satan. No. Go back up again.
Wow.
That look part, where it says to look, right there.
Alright.
Yep.
From an alternate form of Derkami, how you say that? Derkamai, to look.
Right, to look, man. And what did they call those areas? The European theater, the Arabian theater. All those areas where the wars would fall at, they were called theaters, in which the Illuminati watched all the wars go down. They the ones that sent America in there to bring about the nuclear missiles, to bring fire from the sky, bringing miracles and scaring the other nations, putting fear on the other nations with this new beast called NATO. The spirit, the point of the spirit being what? America. even today, NATO overseas, you have American general that runs it.
Oh.
He's the head of it. You look it up yourself. All right. So can you go back one more time, man? We got one more part to read. Go back to history again on NATO. Yep. There you go. Go back to the history part.
10 minutes. Wait, hold on, I gotta go with this.
10 minutes. All right, come. Right there.
All right. Where's
Yep, just that paragraph.
at the top?
Yep. We're gonna stop at Iceland.
All right.
Now this is when they added in America.
Wait. All right. The top one right here, or this one?
No, you right.
All right.
Good.
All right. It says on March 4th, 1947, the Treaty of Dunkirk was signed by France and the United Kingdom as the Treaty of the Alliance of the Mutual Assistance.
Right. You got to understand it on that now, right? Go ahead.
In the event of a possible attack by Germany or the Soviet Union in the aftermath of World War II.
So they were trying to get NATO as a protection military setup, man, alliance. That's the only reason NATO exists. It's for the end times, to hurt Russia. Go ahead.
In 1948, this alliance was expanded in the including of Benelux.
The Benelux countries, yep, it was expanded. What did he say? He saw a beast coming out of the sea. Right?
In the form of the Western Union, also referred as the Brussels Treaty Organization.
So it was formed into that now. Right, go ahead.
Established by the Treaty of Brussels, all right. Talks for a new military alliance, which also included North America.
Oh, can you read that again a little slower, brother?
All right, it says.
Oh yeah, this right here. The talks part.
Right here. Okay. It says talks for a new military alliance, which included,
hammer on the earth.
It says talks for a new military alliance, which could also include North America.
North America, right? So that's when they added America, and that's the whore that sit upon the dragon, or the beast. That's America.
Resulted in the signature of the North Atlantic Treaty on April 4th, 1949.
Right, man.
By the member states of the Western European Union, plus the United States, Canada, Portugal, Italy, Norway, Denmark, and Iceland.
So yeah, that's clear, man. And we can keep going, but I don't, but yeah, that's when America was given that power and great seat and authority. All right, over the strength of the relationship between the European states and the United States. All right, go ahead, brother.
I got it.
Go ahead.
All right, this is Jeremiah 50:22. It says, "A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction."
Right.
How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken?
Right. So America is the hammer, and the person holding that damn gavel is the European Union. You see that? Destroying these other nations. Anytime they choose, they use America. Look at Russia. NATO said, "Yo, if you don't get your missile systems out of there, we're gonna strike. We're gonna send America at you." And that was before this whole situation went down with Ukraine. They said, if you don't move your missile systems, then we're gonna send America at you. Well, Russia put the missile systems there ever since George Bush.
Yeah.
Because they see them, they're creeping up at their doorstep. They got to keep the missile defense systems there. Because they're right there on their doorstep.
Oh.
All right. They said, what? He said, Russia wants a war because they're moving their house, their land closer to our military bases. So that's, it's clear, man. That's an invasion. That's it.
Yeah, there's a little more to it.
We ain't got to force it. Let's keep going, brother. Where we at? All the way to 4?
On 3 now. Read right now.
Yep. Oh, we got dragon definition? Yeah, we did.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 3. It says, "And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed." Right,
so that wound, the deadly wound, which represents Rome, the fall of Rome during the sack of Rome in 410 AD. All right, with the Visigoths, the Anglo-Saxons, what they call them? I wrote it down a little bit earlier. The Visigoths, the Alamami, the Burgundians, the Ostrogoths, the Franks. All right, all those common market countries turned on Rome, and Rome fell. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. And I saw one of his heads.
A little louder, brother.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 3. It says, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
Right, with the European Union. All right, the establishment of the European Union. The European nations coming back together after being broken up during the sack of Rome. They came back together, and their head came back together, which is Rome, the European Union. It even stretched out and strengthened out and became a dragon.
And all the world wandered after the beast.
Right.
Verse 4.
Right, so the beast is NATO.
And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
Right, so they honored and paid homage to Europe. That's what that word worship means, to pay homage and revere. So they paid homage to Europe. And they what?
And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
Which gave power to NATO. You see that? What's the power it gave them? Weaponry and money to fund it, and people. See that? NATO is the accumulation of different nations together as an army. That's why if they showed up here today, and even the UN is like that. All right, go ahead.
And they worship the beast, saying, "Who is like unto the beast?"
Right. So they pay homage to NATO now. And who is that? They're talking about the European Union saying that. The dragon saying to the beast, they're admiring their works, and who is like NATO? Can't nobody stop this alliance. Alright? But the Lord got something up his sleeve for them. Go ahead, brother.
Last part. Who is able to make war with him?
Right, so how can you go to war with Poland, and then you got Greece coming at you, and all these other nations that's in the NATO list? I don't know the number, but it was a lot of nations, man. Today. Alright? So all those nations, if you fight one, you got to fight them all. So who's able to make war with that? And they're financed by the European Union. Now, once the European Union got raised up, in the Brexit and all of that, man, and the expansion of NATO in the 1990s, in 1991 you had the fall of the USSR, the fall of Soviet Union. And with their fall, that gave a boost to what you call the European Union with Britain and everything. Now that Britain is leaving the European Union as of 2016, called the Brexit, now that separation in the European Union gave strength to the Soviet Union. Now the Soviet Union is back as of 2016. And we can look that up too. You can go ahead and cut it.